combo of the day is finally here. We're actually going to Atlanta, to Porsche. Pretty exciting. Elvis is excited. Right, buddy? Really excited. Let's do it! Yo, look at that shirt. You got your Lewis shirt on. Sweet! So plane's leaning pretty hard. Not sure it's supposed to do this. Also making some funny noises for that. Oh, look at this. He's like a human gimbal. Yeah, we're taking the Optima. Taking the Optima. Everyone take as many sips as the amount of years you studied after high school.
Oh, good. I think there's anything after high school, Bob. Two chance right here. Two chance. We're coming in a victory. We're not going to college.
One, go. You want him on.
Oh, let's get heavy. There's a draft on this side. It's so hard to be like, hey,
Is it hard? I think it's quite easy.
No, absolutely not. That's the truth. Here's Blink. Did I just blink right there?
No.
Oh, I see.
Happy.
I wasn't.
I'm not going anywhere.
I think that's
There's
So precise. Did I just blink right there?
No, you're not blinking.
It's like a windshield wiper in your eyes.
Hollywood.
My down bitch, one who live by the code. Put this music shit aside, get it in on the road. Lot of quiet time, pink bottles of rose, exotic red bottoms, whole body glittered in gold. Following fundamentals, I'm following in a rental. I love a nasty girl, swallow what's on the menu. My money trouble love.
So our layout here, you can see this course in red. This is our handling circuit. It runs all the way around the outside. It's about 14 turns in just under a mile. So there's lots of turns. And again, we're over here. If we look out that window, we're going to see our front straightaway. So this front straightaway is going to be one of 2 passing zones. I'll talk a little bit more about the passing zones later, but just know that it's well controlled. We'll help you manage it. We're not going to be doing any passing in this really curvy back section of the course.
You got that, Quentin? No passing in.
You got that? Now, in the interior, we have a whole bunch of modules. So there's 5 modules on the inside. So that's where we're really going to push the limits of the car. If we want to slide the car around, find the limit of grip, that's going to happen on these interior modules. The handling circuit is where we put it all together, but we keep everything well under control. We're not going to be sliding the car around on the handling circuit. Now, we have our kick plate surface here. This is this red. So we have our kick plate. You can't quite see it out there, but it's a wetted epoxy surface. It's almost like ice. So we're going to approach it about 20 miles an hour. There's a hydraulically actuated plate. It's going to shift the rear wheels to the left or to the right and initiate a spin. We're going to learn some car control technique to prevent that spin from happening. Now we're probably going to spin the car a couple times till we get the hang of it, but we'll be helping you all the way through it. It's a lot of fun and it has a lot of applicability to the real world. Imagine you're coming around a turn, hit a little patch of black ice. Whoa, what's happening? We're going to build the right instinct so that you can maintain control of the car. Now beyond our kick plate, we have our low friction circle. Polished concrete, constantly wetted with sprinklers, just like our kick plate surface. So we're going to do an endless left-hand turn around this circle, and we're going to shift weight around the car with the accelerator. If we squeeze that accelerator, the weight goes to the back. Maybe we get some wheel spin. If we lift off that accelerator, the weight goes to the front. We're going to learn about understeer, where the front tires are sliding, and oversteer, where the rear tires are sliding. So the kick plate, as an example, gives us an oversteer situation because it's going to slide those rear tires. So we're going to learn all about how the car behaves at the limit of grip. As we approach it, what does it feel like? What happens when it goes beyond it? Can we push it beyond it? Maybe we can make it slide, make it do something we want, but maintain control of the car and bring it back into grip. Again, the car at the limit of grip behaves very differently. Most of us have very little experience with that, so we want to build your comfort level with the limit of grip. This has applicability to performance situations, but as well out there in the real world, everyday driving, in emergency situations, somebody cuts you off, or you see the brakes slam on in front of you, and you need to take an evasive action. Now, we have 2 modules over here in this wide area. We call this our dynamics area. So there's 2 modules. On the near side, and if we're looking out to the right, it would be our near side. We have a string of cones. So that's going to set up a slalom course. We're going to go left and right, weave in and out of those cones, just like in the Winter Olympics. Go about 30 miles an hour, 25, and we're going to really see what these cars are capable of in terms of handling. There's some driving techniques that we can work on as well. Now, parallel to that, on the far side or the low side, we have our launch and brake area. So we're going to launch from over here, do a drag strip start, full throttle, rely on the traction control. We'll get going up to about 70, 80 miles an hour, and then we're going to slam on those brakes. Emergency stop, get us all the way down to 0 before the white cones on this end. Again, we're going to flex this car. What is it really capable of? How well do these brakes work? We can do about 1.2, 1.3 G's of braking. Out there in the real world, if you're at 0.5 G's of braking, that feels like a lot. 0.8 is like probably the hardest you've ever felt. We're going to take it to 1.3 if we can. So that's going to be lock the tires, ABS, emergency stop. Between these 2 white cones, there's a little 3-year-old girl, pigtails, tricycle, streamers. Her name's Tracy. Let's not mow down Tracy. So there's an emergency stop, so we just got to use all of those brakes. So that's 4 modules, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a 5th module over here. Now down here, this is our off-road course. We will not be taking these Caymans and Boxsters off-road. But you can come back and do that with a Cayenne. point out our Macan cannot complete the off-road course. The Macan is our crossover SUV. We really need the Cayenne to complete this, but let's ignore that. We're not going to be doing that today. Next to it, however, is our low friction handling course. It's like a little go-kart track on steroids. So we have polished concrete surface, just like our low friction circle right here, but it's going to be completely dry. And so we're going to use some of those techniques that we refine over here and put them into use over here on low friction handling. Again, we want to put that car at the limit of grip. And so it behaves very differently at the limit. So we're going to learn all about that at the circle. We can put it into application over here. Once it's at the limit, we push it a little bit harder, it's going to start to slide. And we can, if we get that far, we'll learn how to maintain control and bring it back into grip. So it's very tight. Keep the car in first gear, only going about 20 miles an hour. But it's that polished concrete, dry, low limit of grip. So we're going to reach that limit quickly. And that's the goal. We want to get comfortable. So that covers everything that we'll be doing. There's two last points. I talked about passing zones. So the way that passing works is we have it on our front straight. It starts at this corner just before the straight. We'll take it all the way around the bend to where there's a white Porsche billboard. You can see that white Porsche billboard through the side window. And so that's going to mark the start of the braking zone, the end of the passing zone. So the way passing works is, let's say we're in front and someone's right behind us and they want to go by. There's going to be different cars out there, different paces, different abilities. So if this car needs to go by, the coach is going to own the mirrors. You don't need your mirrors at all. We don't want you guessing, oh, I need to do something because someone wants to get by me. Just let your coach handle the whole thing. We're all on radios, we're all in constant communication. So someone's behind us. We're going to come out of this turn naturally at about 40 miles an hour. All we need to do is we say, hey, there's a pass coming up, stay to the right, and maintain that 40 miles an hour. There's no need to hit the brakes. You can slow down a little bit, but we don't want to be going 20 miles an hour down the straightaway. We want to be going at least 25, 30, but we don't want to be going 60, 70 while someone's trying to pass us either. Just pretend there's a cop with a radar gun trying to maintain that 40 miles an hour. It's pretty easy, but some people have some trouble with it. So we'll pull over to the right, maintain 40. I'll hit the flashers, or your coach will hit the hazard lights. That's going to be the signal for the person behind us to go around to the left. Nice and easy. And so that can happen from here all the way to about here, and then we're on the brakes to make this right-hand turn. Similarly, we have a passing zone on our back straight. So we're going to come out of this turn at about 40 miles an hour. Let's say we need to make the pass. We're behind somebody going slower. So we'll see them stay to the right, see those flashers going off, and then wait for your coach. He'll say, okay, here's the go-ahead, go around to the left. So it's real straightforward. Complete the pass, and right around here, we start the braking zone so we can get down to 35 to make this turn. That make sense? Last thing, if anyone's prone to motion sickness, we do have some Dramamine. You could take it now. It's very rare, but 1 in 10 people, sometimes it does happen. And if it does, we want to stay ahead of it. Maybe with you, not with me. Probably me. Yeah. So stay ahead of it. It comes on in about 60 seconds when it does. So if you notice anything, we'll just pull over, take a little walk, take a breather, get right back in the car and have some more fun. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Guys ready to have some fun?
Yes.
All right. Maybe we'll learn a couple things too, but we're going to have some fun out there.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
Right now?
No. I need a break. I need like, yeah.